Business Podcast. This is Kevin Deveci, your host. Thank you for being with us. Thank you so much for your support on YouTube. We just passed 22,000 YouTube subscribers. If you haven't done so, please go to YouTube, visit our channel, American Business Podcast, ABP channel, and please subscribe. We truly appreciate it. Also, next Friday, we have an online business networking event coming up on May 23rd at 10 a.m. If you're interested, please register. We have limited registration available on our podcast, on our website, americanpodcast.tv. If you visit our website, you'll see this banner, there's flyer. You can click it on our website and it'll take you to the registration page. Limited seating, and this is a monthly networking event. We'll do it every month. It's called The Connection America, powered by the American Business Podcast. So if you're interested, please join us. And if you like to watch, we'll live stream it on May 23rd, next Friday at 10 a.m. So it'll be very informative, it'll be fun, and you'll be able to meet with many different business professionals online. If you have an idea, if you'd like to be a guest on our business podcast, please send us an email, americanbusinesspodcast@gmail.com. Maybe you like to be a guest, maybe you know someone who likes to be a guest. Feel free to send us an email. If you have an idea, if you'd like us to cover any particular subject in our business podcast, please write us an email. We keep an open mind and we welcome your feedback. And finally, to learn about what is coming on our podcast, the schedule, it is available on our website. Please visit americanpodcast.tv. All right, great. I think we can get started. Today we have a guest from Assured Partners, Rob Tarczewski. And let me welcome Rob to our podcast. Hello, Rob. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Kevin. Great to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you for being with us. How is your week going so far?
It's been fantastic. Outside of the weather being a little shaky this week, but looking forward to things. It's been a good week. Busy as always, but that's how I like it.
Yes. I typically remember the Monday and then it's Friday, so the in between is pretty quick.
Right.
So yeah, I also had a chance to go to Small Business Expo. That was an interesting event that I joined. Many businesses, different suppliers. So that was a good interaction for me. They have it, I think, from my understanding, like a nationwide event. But I had a chance to go to the one in New York City. So to make good connections, that was a good opportunity. So let's see.
No, absolutely. That's so important, is the as you mentioned, the connections, and that's we've met and we've known each other for a while through meeting at one of the association meetings and getting to know each other that way. So it's so invaluable. So glad you were able to make that.
Yes, absolutely. Earlier today, I had a chance to interview Terry Miseli from HALI, the president and CEO of HALI. So we had a chance to talk about HALI trade show coming up on May 29th. Actually, it's almost here. So I'm excited to be there as well. I'll be there. We're gonna have a booth in the manufacturing pavilion. So it'll be fun. It's one of the largest in our region. So looking forward to it. Are you gonna be there?
Absolutely. I got it circled on my calendar months ago.
Oh, that's great. Okay.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to seeing you there as well. Sounds good. Well, if that's okay, let's get started.
Okay.
So as you know, we have a large group of audience, and I love them to know about you and your company. Would you please introduce yourself, your company, to our audience, please?
Sure. And congratulations on reaching 22,000 subscribers. That's fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Quickly you were able to get there.
Thanks to our audience.
You're going to go quickly.
Yes. Thank you. So thanks to our audience, thanks to our YouTube subscribers, and thanks to our sponsors. I mean, they truly appreciate it. Thanks to our also young producers as well. So one of them is online. Beth, she's with us. She helps in the background. Our audience, they don't see her, but she's in the background helping us all the time. So it's a team effort. Absolutely. Thank you for your good wishes. So we are all ears. Please tell us about yourself and your company.
Well, hello, everyone. My name is Rob Tarczewski. I am Vice President of Commercial Lines for Assured Partners. Assured Partners is one of the insurance brokers nationwide. And, so I specialize actually not only in property and casualty insurance, but also employee benefits, health benefits, life insurance, surety bonding, pretty much anything and everything that a company large and small would need regarding insurance instruments on a regular basis. One of the things I hang my hat on, and we've had many conversations about this, Kevin, is emerging risks. We both deal a lot in the manufacturing area, and it seems like every week there's a different risk. So that's why I mentioned in the beginning I've been very busy, because there's always seems to be something going on.
Yes, makes sense. Well, one of the things that actually we are very curious is, how did you choose your career? I mean, you have decades of experience. I know, we had conversations one-on-one as well.
Yeah.
So how did you get started?
Well, it's funny because the earlier part of my career, I worked on the other side of the fence. I actually worked for various manufacturers, so a couple of different companies, both large and small organizations, multinational as well as startups. And I was on the business development, marketing, and sales side of things. And I got a lot of experience, working with and within supply chain. And that was really, really invaluable to build up a network of the folks that I deal with today. I've known them for a long time. So I went from Honeywell and then Canon, and then I was working at UL Underwriters Laboratories, little UL in a circle that you would see, and they're specialized in there's a safety and testing organization globally. And there I had the opportunity to work with a lot of insurance carriers and brokers, because a lot of things that UL would do on a daily basis helps in mitigating risk and provide safety to users of and installers of different types of products. So in the interaction with the brokers and with the carriers for a long time, I got a very deep understanding of risk management. And so I, about 10 years ago, I decided that I wanted to be on this side of the fence, and marry the experience that I had, having worked both large companies and small companies, and now understanding the various instruments from an insurance perspective that can aid a business, kind of marry the two together. So I think I'm pretty effective, thanks to the background that I kind of bring to the table.
Can you tell us about your work a little bit? What are the exciting and challenging parts of your work, you will say?
So what's great is every day is a little different. So I get an opportunity to work with lots of different types of organizations, large and small, and various different types of industries, not-for-profit, manufacturing, service, and everyone is different, and there's a lot of similarities as well. So every day is a little bit different, but at the end of the day, I feel I make a difference, and I can impact and help provide the knowledge base for a lot of the C-suite individuals, company owners, business owners, on a daily basis. There's just so much out there that it's hard to keep track of. So you need partners that can help in the education process.
So risk mitigation is your expertise. And when we look at the businesses and business world in general, how should businesses mitigate risk in their own industry? Any general suggestions?
Well, there's, as I mentioned earlier, everybody's different, and there's some similarities. One is, obviously insurance. Really, all insurance is determining how much risk do you want to keep for yourself, in the form of having policies that you have higher deductibles, and you're absorbing more of the risk, and you're not offsetting that, or are you offsetting it to a third party, in this case an insurance carrier, and you're mitigating that risk through paying more for policies and having smaller deductibles, because God forbid something does happen, you have the coverages there. So insurance, having the right insurance in place is one way to do that. The second part is education. You can't be a master of everything. You really need to keep an open mind to the partners that you speak with on a daily basis. Keep an open mind to learning about things that maybe aren't impacting your business today, but they're impacting other businesses, because although they're not impacting your business today, They could be impacting you tomorrow, or they could be impacting your business partners, your customers, your clients. So really keeping abreast of trends is a big thing. A second thing, and the third thing is I think is don't be afraid to ask. And, that's the other part of it is that because there is so much out there. I have so much respect for business owners and a lot of different business executives that I deal with on a daily basis because there's so much thrown at them, and there's no playbook for them to necessarily work off of. So that they really learning on the fly on certain things, and every day is a little different, going to be a little different for them. So I really do believe that. Having the conversations and learning as much as you can really help put you in a better place to be able to mitigate risks that come up in the future.
What do you see coming as a big disruptor to your industry?
Yeah, you know what? One of the themes I know that you have on the podcast series obviously is AI, and AI means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. And I know I've heard different people saying, well, it's coming, or I don't, I think it's going to be a huge impact. I think it's a small impact. I think, it depends on the industry, but I do believe that AI is one area, obviously, that's going to have um, a big disruption to either your own business or to your client's business, or that ecosystem of companies that you work with or do business with, whether it's your manufacturer with your IT provider, your accounting in the firm, your insurance firm, your lawyers, your supply chain, whoever it might be. I think everyone's getting impacted at different levels. So AI is the first. The second, obviously, I'm in insurance, so weather. You know, I don't want to get political into whether you believe in climate change or you don't believe in climate change, but understanding that there is issues and weather-related issues that do impact your business and your personal life, where storms could disrupt your business. Um, they could harm your employees. Obviously, if there's car accidents or whatever it might be, they could disrupt supply chains. When earthquakes or hurricanes. So weather is the second disruptor. And I think the other thing, and I think everyone kind of suffers from this, as folks retire and move on from the workforce, and you have the new generation coming up. The loss of institutional knowledge. I think that in our industry, there's a lot of folks within the insurance and the finance area that are retiring, and you're gonna, we're no different. Our area is no different. Where we're looking to hire, we're looking to bring people along. You lose a lot of the institutional knowledge, and having to build that back up is going to take time. So those are the three disruptors that I kind of see either impacting the industry itself or the folks that I'm dealing with from a business perspective.
You just mentioned AI. Can you expand on it a little bit? How it'll be keep changing the business landscape? You think is it going to replace jobs? You think?
So it's hard to it's really hard to kind of put your finger on it, but I would say that yes, it's already started to replace jobs, but it's creating more. So will the net effect be a positive one or a negative one when it comes from an employment perspective? Well, employment's pretty much at a historic low right now. So you have folks that obviously are looking for positions and trying to find the right ones. But AI right now is being utilized at varying degrees and varying levels, where it's starting to remove some of the guesswork. I'll give you a good example within the insurance industry. Now you have the underwriters and the actuaries from the carriers that are relying more on modeling and using artificial intelligence and machine learning to get a better understanding as to the risks that would be inherent in a certain type of business, and kind of extrapolating that out over the years. 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. So artificial intelligence is already being used there. As that's one example, but it's creating more jobs. So Yeah, different types of jobs that are. You got programmers, you got folks that need to, provide the data mining for it. So there's opportunities to be had, as well as for it's a changing environment. One of the things that I we've had this conversation as well before is I get very heavily involved in emerging risks. So obviously keeping abreast of the how different industries and companies and even my clients are using artificial intelligence is important. And so I see it being used at varying degrees and levels and of sophistication. It's going to get there further, and with that, it's going to create more opportunities for everyone as well.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, yeah, for us to use AI, someone also needs to keep AI up, right? The support in the
Right.
background is also important. I actually had a conversation a couple of weeks ago with one of my colleagues. How about the robots, right? So robots are also coming in, AI powered robots. Then the next
Mhm.
question is like, who's going to support them? You know,
Yeah.
the robot is a machine, and it's going to be also in need of maintenance. And who's going to maintain it? Now you need
Right.
another robot to maintain it. Then, I mean, eventually humans will be somewhere involved. I mean, it cannot be just robot
Yeah.
after robot, AI powered robot. Is
Yeah.
doesn't look so feasible, at least in near future.
No,
But
absolutely. That's a great point. You look at and you deal very heavily with manufacturers. They're struggling to hire a lot of times for the production line, sophisticated jobs. Trying to find individuals that are going into manufacturing, especially here within the U.S. So they're relying more on robots and machine learning, and obviously AI plays a part in that. So definitely it's here, and it's being utilized different areas, but kind of understanding, even if you're kind of allude to this before, is that even if you don't think that your industry is that impacted yet from by AI, keep an open mind as to the clients and the customers that you're working with, how they may be impacted by it. Again, you're the folks within your ecosystem, your business ecosystem that you work with. How are they utilizing? How is that impacting you? Because ultimately, it's kind of runs downstream, upstream, in terms of the impact it'll have on
this is a bonus question because you have also
you.
expertise in. I knew it was coming, but anyways, so well, this is spontaneous. So you also have a lot of involvement in cybersecurity and cybersecurity education. So just before the earlier episode, we had Manny Morales in our podcast from 2M Technologies, and we discussed about cybersecurity a little bit. So can you share some of your viewpoints about cybersecurity? How
Sure.
companies can
Sure.
just protect themselves and train their teams
No,
for.
absolutely, and Manny's a great one. That's one of the things that I have so much respect for you, Kevin, that you really bring in not only but besides the knowledge base, obviously, that you have and your sphere of influence, but really the heavy hitters and the knowledgeable individuals that you've had on these podcasts to date. It's no wonder that you've already grown to 22,000 subscribers and growing,
Thank you.
because guys like Manny, invaluable when it comes to things such as not only just from an IT perspective, but again, cyber. So cyber is I mentioned in the beginning part, I get involved in emerging risks. Cyber is a big part of emerging risks. Obviously, artificial intelligence is only a piece of that. So a couple things, especially for small businesses. I speak to business owners on a daily basis. I give a lot of talks, and I write some articles and involved in panel discussions. And the biggest thing that I find from, especially from the small business owner, is a lot of times to say two things. One is, well, I don't think it's not going to happen to me. I'm too small. No one's really going to. I don't have enough things for hackers or individuals to get that they want from me. And I say baloney, because I kind of liken cyber events to one of two ways. That you have a car thief on the block, and he or she is just going up and down the block trying to open up doors to see if there's anything that they can break into, a car that's open that can break into and steal any kind of hardware or money that may be left in there. Crime of opportunity. Just kind of, you're there, and there you don't have any safeguards. And the other one is you have that car thief that has a list of cars that they want, and like, I need a Porsche, I need a Lexus, and they go specifically to that area. So, you know, is again being vigilant. You know, you can have millions of dollars worth of software, but if you're not updating it and you don't have the protocols, you don't have an outside IT or managed service provider helping you, know that they're going to get in. The bad actors are going to get in, or they're already in, regardless of whether you're a $1 billion organization or you're a $100,000 a year organization. The bad actor is going to go in. How you mitigate that is through the use of obviously cyber insurance as one means. It's not a be all end all, but obviously if something happens and it impacts your business, know that you'll have the coverages to take care of that. The safeguard and the monitoring. So you've installed this, but at the same time, we find that almost 2/3 still of cyber events that do occur are because of human error. So regardless of how well you think your staff is trained and you yourself are vigilant, it only takes that one time for you to be distracted and to click into something or to let something slide by that if it doesn't feel right, or it doesn't seem right, it's probably not right. So again, the training, the monitoring. There's I see as one of the trends, and I'm big on trends. I speak with a lot of folks, and I kind of mentioned that in the early part of the podcast here. Is kind of keeping abreast of trends is important, especially in my line of work. So what types of breaches are occurring, how are they occurring, but then also when you talk about mitigating it, are you doing any kind of monitoring? Is your IT person in-house or externally monitoring so that they know that if there's every 2:00 in the morning that there's a big surge that occurs, or there's a lot of data usage that's coming from your computers, if it doesn't seem right, it's not right. So monitoring and compliance is another area, very cost-effective means and way to kind of keep safe. But there's no one safeguard. And then the last thing I absolutely recommend and talk about is, we talk about cyber resilience and your cyber hygiene, but part of that also is having a cyber incident response plan. Just like when we were kids in school, Kevin, when you were in second grade and that you had the fire alarm or the fire drill, you knew that when that went off, you were lining up, you were going to be fifth in line, and we were going to go down the back staircase, and we were going to meet by the tree in the back of the parking lot. And that's how you kind of, the same thing with cyber, is that you don't want to find 2:00 in the morning that you're going to have to respond to an issue that may be occurring at 2:00 in the morning, and then trying to figure out what's the best way to do that. Prepare before time with some sort of just basic incident response plan.
I like to shift it towards your role models. Have you ever had any role models? Do you have any role models that you can share with us?
Well, there's always been, folks that I admire, and I kind of mentioned about, small business owners and, a lot of the C-suite individuals. I admire so much that they the learning that they've done on the job. Small business owners, a lot of times taking the leap of faith to, they have a dream, they have a passion, they have an idea, and, I respect that a lot. I would say, role models probably, from an early age, my dad. He's instilled in the family, hard work and the simple concept of be nice, and that's I hate to say it's so basic in nature, but he was he worked for large companies, and he was a business executive, and that was one of the things that he definitely always lived by and did. The other one is my brother. My brother's always been, since I was little, he's always seemed to have the answers, and maybe he didn't, but he sure had the confidence, and he instilled, I think, in me that level of confidence that you need to be out there as well. And then kind of third is my wife. We have a great relationship, and just amazed at all the things that she's able to accomplish and do, both personally and professionally. I've been married 30 years, so that's I got a slew of models.
Yeah, congratulations. Yes, absolutely. That's great. Well, so when you look at your career journey, are there any lessons learned that comes to your mind in this conversation?
Yeah. Well, and I'll say one of them actually comes from you. We met a bunch of years ago. But
Yes.
one of the things that I was impressed on, and now I'll use you as one of my role models, perhaps,
Okay.
Joe,
Thank you.
is that you were always very heavily involved, and you always took an interest. So I belong to a lot of different industry associations, business groups, networking groups, um, and I mentioned about my role models, my dad, and be nice, whether it's personally or professionally. Very basic. My brother, be confident. Those two things that I take with me wherever I go. The third thing I would say is, and I'm a really big believer in, if you really if you take an active interest personally in the conversation that you may be having with somebody, whether it's on a personal conversation, or business conversation, you're able to connect with individuals, and people buy from people. They're not buying. You may have the best product, but if they don't know you, they don't like you, they don't trust you, they may not buy from you. They may not want to deal with you or work with you. They might not want to hire you, or you may not want to hire them if you don't like, know, and trust them. And so I think that the be nice, be confident, and then you got to take a personal interest in all of the conversations that you have, and the interactions that you have, and really just be genuinely curious in terms of about those individuals, and what they do, and how you might be able to help them. I always say, from an insurance perspective, listen, I like to think that I can help everybody, but a lot of times, a lot of the folks that I work with, we'll have that conversation. I'll find, we'll have several conversations. I'll find that, they have pretty good programs in place already. They already have a pretty good relationship with their broker on employee benefits, or for property and casualty. But it doesn't hurt to have somebody else, another set of eyes, or just to have that conversation with folks. But a lot of times they say, there's not much I can do to help you. I'm here to answer any questions, but you seem to be pretty well, educated, and you seem to be pretty well fortified when it comes to the types of policies. So that's a big thing too, is just be nice, be kind, be confident, and take a genuine interest in the folks you deal with. And that's again, I felt that from the day one when I met you, is that you really take that genuine interest in each and every conversation that you have.
Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you very much. Well, we have different conversations, mostly from business point of view. But one of the questions that's in my mind is, what are your interests outside of work?
But well, it's funny, as I've gotten a little bit older now, and for a lot of times, my passion was my family and my kids. And as they've gotten older now, and they've kind of moved out, my oldest just got married 6 months ago. My youngest is finishing up second year of college.
Congratulations.
No, thank you. I still remember them when they were 4, 5, 6 years old. I coached them for a long
That's
time.
amazing.
Yeah, and it just goes very fast, So I coached a lot. I did a lot with the kids for a lot of the travel programs, and got involved and I volunteered for a lot of the board of directors for the local soccer club and everything. And now my kids tell me that I needed new hobbies, because getting involved in their lives was not a hobby anymore as they've gotten older. So I like to I have a garden, so I've grown a garden. I volunteer, still get involved with basketball and soccer. I volunteer ref. I look to mentor. I'm now working with a couple of nonprofits I sit on the board of directors for. So I've just kind of turned that passion elsewhere. And the other thing too is, I've last couple of years, I've started to learn how to mix drinks. So if
Amazing. Wow.
22,000 subscribers, and I'm sure by the time this hits 50,000, hit me up for some pretty special recipes. So
yeah, tripled already.
that's right. All of a sudden, there's going to be a whole bunch of requests for
The big spike is coming up.
Hey, you don't want to get me invited to more parties, maybe.
Yeah, that's definitely fun. I mean, it's amazing that you keep an open mind. It's not easy. It's not easy to learn
absolutely
new things.
Yeah,
definitely. And I know we come to the end of our episode, but a couple more points. Well, I know you are actually very active in business community. You network a lot. You connect. Just to your point earlier, you also connect, and you also take genuine interest in other businesses and other professionals to learn, because obviously you keep an open mind to keep learning, which is amazing. Do you have any final career advice to the next generation leaders and the workforce?
Mhm. Well, I think some of the things that we kind of that I mentioned a little bit earlier is,
Mhm.
as you get involved, um, do your best to get out there and have visibility.
Mhm.
I'll give you, for example, with insurance. Not everyone's ready to buy insurance, and
Mhm.
you get one shot a year to kind of to really that people are focused on it during the renewal times. So staying relevant the other 11 months of the year. So you need the visibility to stay relevant. Be curious. As you folks coming out of school got a lot of good qualities. They've learned a lot, but now you want to be able to understand how to take what you've learned in school and apply that into the job and to the individuals that you're dealing with. So that's another thing is just be visible, be confident. You know, uh, no one expects you to have all the answers. And then and the last part I'll say is be responsible. If you say you're going to be, when you talk to somebody, you say, I'm going to get back to you on a Monday. A lot of times I don't have the answer, but I say, I'm going to get back to you by the end of the day. I make sure I get back to them at the end of the day, even if it's to say, I don't have an answer for you yet, but I promised I was going to get back to you. So, if you make a promise, you keep that promise. My word is my bond. And that's always been something I've kind of always kind of lived by. So, for folks kind of getting out of school, a lot of times you come out with one line of study and you wind up going into a different line. I know a lot of accountants that have become nurses, doctors that have become salespeople, business people that have become lawyers. Whatever it might be. A lot of times it's because they became curious. They were confident that they wanted and they could embark on a different career path. And then they went out and they did it. So, going out there, just, put yourself out there, be confident, be curious, and be open to learning.
Appreciate it. Great advice. Thank you so much. And if any of our audience, if they like to contact you, what is the best way to get in touch with you?
So, my name, you see my name there. I would encourage everyone to take a
Yes.
quick picture of the name. But my email is rob.tokarszewski. So the spelling of the name at assuredpartners.com. You can, if you go onto LinkedIn, you'll see I'm pretty visible on LinkedIn. If I
Cool.
don't link in with you immediately, I have a pretty close network, meaning that I use that for a referral source. So, ask to have some conversation with me so I know a little bit about you and I can refer you in, whether you're a student looking to, catch on with a company that I may know, or you're, interested in possibly doing business with me, or you have some questions about insurance for either your business or personally. I may not have all the answers, but I can definitely put you in touch with somebody. So I'm pretty visible at different associations, both locally as well as nationally. Pretty visible on LinkedIn, and then obviously, folks go into the podcast and go into the website. They'll be able to see my email as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You are well connected and you're always helpful. So for that, I truly appreciate it.
I always enjoy our conversations. Now I'm sharing our conversation with 22,000 of our closest friends.
Yes, yes, we have a lot of listeners now, so that is great. And I'm looking forward to seeing you at the HALI trade show on May 29th.
Absolutely. You're going to be one of the first people I track down.
Sounds great. Rob, thank you so much for being with us.
All right. Take care. Thanks,
Thank you very
everybody.
much. Have a good
Take
weekend.
care.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, to our audience and to our listeners, thank you so much for being with us. That was a great podcast episode with Rob Tachkurski, and also we had a chance to talk about different subjects, AI, as well as risk mitigation, and we talk about cybersecurity. So that was actually very educational for all of us. Well, thank you so much for your support on YouTube. So we just passed 22,000 YouTube subscribers. If you haven't done so, please go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. Our business community, this is a business community. That's how we are looking at it. And we are connected. And this subscription actually makes us even more connected. That's actually what it means for us. And please subscribe and support our activities. And also, speaking of our activities, next Friday, May 23rd, the Connection in America is coming up. That's our first monthly business networking event. We love to talk, we love to share ideas, but we love to also put them in action, right? So that is why we put these networking event together, so we can connect even further. So on May 23rd at 10 a.m., we're going to connect online, and we're going to make introductions to different businesses. And it's going to be an exclusive event, limited number of professionals from limited number of professions. And we're going to be streaming online. If you haven't done so, if you'd like to join, attend, introduce yourself, your business, and your services, please go to our business website, business podcast website, americanpodcast.tv. You can click the flyer, and then it'll take you to the registration page. Registration is closing, I believe, tomorrow. So make sure you register and join us. It's going to be a monthly event, so we'll meet month to month. We like to discuss different subjects on podcasts, and we like to meet and connect further professionally on the Connection America business networking event powered by the American Business Podcast. Do you have an idea? Would you like to be a guest on our business podcast? Please send us an email, americanbusinesspodcast@gmail.com. We keep an open mind. We are looking forward to hearing from you. Some of you already send me an email. Love to be a guest. Love to share some ideas. We reply as quick as possible, right? So we love to hear from you. We love this discussion. So highly encouraged. Also, if you are wondering what is coming in our next episodes, please visit our website, americanpodcast.tv. americanpodcast.tv, and when you visit, you'll see the coming schedule that we update every Sunday. It's updated, so you can also visit our website and you can learn more about our business podcast. Great, thank you so much for being with us. Looking forward to having you at our